Hi, my name is Charles Gears. I'm the president of MDI. The video that you're about to see is being shot in two parts, which will become immediately apparent. The reasons being, first of all, the first section of this was shot on a sunny day with transitional lenses in my eyeglasses that got darker than they should have. The people that have seen this video, a couple so far, first response was, "Why are you wearing sunglasses?" So I don't want that to be a distraction for what's being said that follows, which is important. The second part will be apparent when we get there. So thanks for listening, and here is the beginning of day one. MDI is at a place where we're a strong organization. We've undergone a lot of changes recently, but the heart of who we are is powerful and strong. When I first took this office, one of the considerations I had, one of the objectives I had, was that our organization would grow 25% per year for every year. After being in office for a while and facing some of the challenges that have come at us in MDI, I realized that it isn't really the numbers of men that we have that determines our success, but how successful we are at achieving our mission. It doesn't really matter to me if we're a 1,000-man organization or a 10,000-man organization. The key is that we can cause greatness by mentoring men to live with excellence, and as mature masculine leaders, create successful families, careers, and communities. Team meetings are the strength and core of what we are at MDI. It's, I think, important for all of us to always recognize that we have to protect the autonomy of men's teams, that they exist in their own direction and they're self-governing to a large extent. At the same time, it's very, very important that we find some way that our organization collectively realizes that we are part of a greater organization. Team meetings are different based on what the team is. The demographics of one men's team made up of a bunch of 60-year-old guys is a lot different than it is some 30-year-old millionaires. So depending on what the team is, they have considerably different needs. The thing that unites all of us, though, is this mission of mentoring men. The communication challenges we have from leadership to men is probably the biggest challenge that exists in MDI. I'm committed to overcoming that, and we'll find ways to do it. This is a step in that direction. One of the things that's happened, that actually happens in any organization, is there's a process of centralizing and decentralizing and centralizing and decentralizing. And in recent years, MDI has been going through a process of decentralizing where we become less and less centralized. There's an obvious conclusion to that process, is that you no longer have an organization. So I think it's important that it turn around and find some way that we start reuniting behind a common cause and a common purpose. And to that end, a team of men have been working diligently on that for the last several months. And we've come up with something that I know is going to be exciting for our membership, is purposeful, falls within the umbrella of our mission statement, and it's going to be released in Las Vegas. It's going to be exciting. You don't want to miss it. In recent years, a number of things have changed in our organization. Our membership structure, the way we pay dues, the fact that we can now enter MDI without doing a point program or a membership training program. There's a lot of different avenues to be involved in MDI. And one of the concerns a lot of the more veteran men have is what's going to happen to our edge. If it's going to be that easy to get into our organization, what's going to happen to the crispness of our standards, keeping our word, being brutally honest and telling the truth to each other no matter what, the courage to be in another man's face. And what I have to say to that is that I believe those things are inherent on our teams, our divisions, and our regions. And as long as we keep them alive and new men become part of it, they'll receive that and those will become their standards as well. There aren't any men coming into MDI joining membership that aren't exposed to who and what we are, and all men are better for it. I've been part of a men's division for over 20 years and I've seen a lot change. And I've served as chairman of the board, I've done a number of things in the past, and now I find myself as president and facing the ultimate challenge of how do we make this organization as good as possible. And to that end, I've assembled a core team that I would consider the dream team of MDI. I have two past presidents on my team. men that have been around and know this organization inside and out. So I have a couple of new positions that I want to announce that I'm excited about. One is that Rich O'Keefe, past president and past chief information officer for the organization, past regional coordinator, past just about everything you could ever do in MDI, is now the vice president of regional operations. All of the regional coordinators report to Rich. He's experienced in the job. Most importantly, he's demonstrated that he's been successful at it, and he's a winner in his heart of hearts. He's going to bring a greatness to our organization that we've been needing for quite some time. Another man recently promoted is Mr. Matt Lyons. He's going to be my chief of staff. And the chief of staff is not a job as I'm holding it or as Matt's holding it that's administrative or simple. It's a job that involves us getting done the things that we need to have done. It's a way that we're going to be taking on specific objectives within every department of MDI and achieving those objectives. These are the guys that I want to go to the Olympics with. These are the guys that I want to go invade a country with or defend humanity with. They're the top element of our organization. And while in many ways it's a team to lead, it's also hugely challenging to lead these men. Their expectations of MDI and where we're headed are also huge, and collectively we'll achieve those things. Second reason for our second take of this video is that after talking about how great it is to have these new men in this job, how magnificent our core team is, we failed to also offer significant appreciation for those that have just completed this job. We've got two men that have done absolutely incredible work in the positions of Vice President of Regional Operations, Sandy Peisner, served in this job for a little over 2 years. He was phenomenal, did a huge amount of work, accomplished great things. Most importantly, a man that had the respect of every regional coordinator that served under him. Respect in a way that isn't common even in our organization. So, way to go, Sandy. Thank you for your sacrifices, and thank you on behalf of MDI, as well as the opening statement that you made to me when I first took this job is, Charles, I'll always have your back. And I've found that to be absolutely true. The second man to say thank you to is Jerry Selly. He was our chief of staff when I first originated the position and gave a look to MDI that we, to this point, have not had. That was a professionalism and an appearance of an organization that was well-grounded, well-suited, and ready to deal in the world we live in today. A business aspect to a legitimate organization like MDI is. Jerry did a huge amount of work behind the scenes and was never really able to be present in front of the men. But the work he did will always be present in front of the men. Thank you, Jerry. From the bottom of my heart, it was a great joy to get to know you. So, thank you very much for your attention, for watching this. And I want to tell you that is part of the future of MDI, is our ability as leadership to communicate with the men. Part of that will be a monthly presentation of a video from the president about the state of MDI to the membership. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're in my life.